At your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we are shaped by the unique communities in which we serve, and we look forward to serving you every single day at every location that we're proud to offer, including Pharmacy Express in Glasgow, Parkland Drugs in Cave City, Metcalf Drugs in Edmonton, and Clark Drugs in Munfordville. We would like to thank you all for being our good neighbors and for your support and business during this past unprecedented year. Find Pharmacy Express online at mygnp.com and find the Empty Nest at Pharmacy Express online on Facebook.
So growing up in Glasgow was as much a blessing as it was a curse. I really came into my own at a younger age and found my authenticity in being a homosexual right out of middle school. So my whole grade school experience, I really remember being made fun of and being an outcast, being a misfit in school, but also having a great support system within Glasgow Independent Schools. I really feel like teachers and friends were there to stand beside me. And it wasn't until I had found the Glasgow Scotty Band that I kind of found my tribe. And then once I was in the band, you know, I thought at one point that I was going to be a music teacher and I was going to go on to be just like Mr. Bonds at the time, Corey Bonds. And then I got brave enough to join Color Guard, and I knew there was going to be a lot of taunting, and there definitely was, but there was also so much freedom in the movement that I had found joining Color Guard, and just being able to perform. And the longer that I was able to express myself in that way, the more that I was led to movement. And I remember my lesson teacher at the time, Pam Yackel, saying, you know, go try dance. You're a dancer. You're moving around while you're playing clarinet. I can tell that this is something that you were just born for.
And though it may look like a series of moves and a random assortment of dancing, Trevor found his true love for movement and dance when he joined the Color Guard after being on the Scotty Band.
And I quickly got overwhelmed and just fell in love with dance. And I remember going and auditioning for Governor School for the Arts. And it was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life because I realized how unprepared I was for what that audition entailed. I was wearing the wrong clothing items. I was completely out of sorts. I didn't know any of the French vocabulary. It wasn't taught here at the local studio. I was just all around ill prepared. But I remember in the audition, there was an improvisational exercise. And I was like, if I don't give them my whole soul right now, I'm not going to be able to ever dance again. You know, that audition was my way to continue this in my life. And I remember like giving it everything I had. I don't remember what within me knew that was where they were going to see me, but I just remember that I had to connect to my breath. And I vividly remember that. And I ended up getting into Governor School. And by the end of Governor School, I was the most improved artist there. And they said at the end that they weren't sure about taking me, but they saw that I had passion. And that's really what they look for at Governor School for the Arts.
Trevor eventually decided to pursue a degree at Western Kentucky University, and while there in the dance program, he found that he wasn't applying himself like he should, and it was through 2 teachers that he found that he needed to apply himself more, and that's where he truly found himself.
Once I was in the program at WKU, I kind of wasn't taking it as seriously as I really needed to. And I remember my freshman year, Clifton and Amanda called me in the office and they were like, you know, maybe dance isn't for you. You're not you're not where all the other students are. They've had all this training prior to being here. You really have to dedicate your whole self. And at the time I was working as a manager at a retail shop at a little boutique in the mall, just to try to kind of balance everything. And I was in a really toxic relationship at the time. And hearing that, I learned that I needed to cut that relationship off. I quit my job. I got a job that was much less strenuous on me, and I really dived into dance. And I wasn't going to let them tell me that this wasn't my path. And I used that, rather than them pushing me out of this, to really hone down on my craft. And from there, by the time I was a senior, I was president of the National Dance Education Organization. I had joined a company in Nashville. I was dancing in the company all the time. And I think I fell in love with movement.
It was the summer of 2019 that Trevor decided to invest in his own endeavor. He opened his own dance studio in Glasgow entitled Soma, where he continues to operate that today.
Soma really came about as a way to provide a safe space for young artists in rural areas who aren't exposed to the ideas of movement that I had the great privilege of being experienced to after college. And having this knowledge, I wanted to be able to bring that back and share that with the community that was able to raise me and send me off.
And yes, he could be in Nashville, or he could even be in New York, but Trevor says teaching is where his heart lies. He's passing on some of those movements and some of those things he's learned over the course of his dancing career to the students in his studio.
I think the most important lesson I'm giving them is that you can get your leg higher. You can look out at the audience and allow yourself to connect with whoever's here and share your soul through movement. Because a lot of times when we watch these kids, they're a reflection of ourselves. And when you see them moving together in perfect harmony and in perfect timing, the beauty that they're able to just emit is really transformative. And it's allowing them to step into the beauty that's inherently theirs and inherently within themselves that I'm really trying to teach, and letting them see that they do deserve to move, and they do deserve to love their bodies and be one with their bodies and share their art with our community.
Trevor's sole intent is to be a role model and to be someone that kids like him can look up to. And he's found by being an educator and a business owner that not everyone is in agreement with him, but staying true to himself has always worked out in the end.
By being authentic to yourself, you're going to attract those people, and you're going to create the community that is attracted to you. And I think that was the most important lesson I've learned, is that I'm not here to serve every single person in this community. And I hope to. I hope that they would let me, but I think that ideas about the world here, there's a duality. Just if we were anywhere, and what I've discovered is the importance of allowing the flow and allowing the people that I'm meant to be around and the people that I'm meant to see to come in and out of the doors here.
This is Trevor Edwards, and this has been Meet My Neighbor.